Hi, this is Ushio, and welcome back to Betweenside. We are still exploring the room. This is the entirety of the game by the looks of it. And it's just a case of, what do we want to find out about next? We've explored a little bit. We've been looking into this mirror last episode, and looking at the differences between what's on this side and what's through the mirror. There are differences, and it's slightly strange. But I don't know. We're just going to work with it. So over here, how about the rose? Or maybe the mask? The rose on the bed, and there's a stain on the bed. Okay, let's try the rose. The cutting rain stung my face. I wiped the water from my eyes and continued on. It was dark and deafening evening. Through the noise, I made out a rider approaching. As the horse came alongside, I asked, "Where am I?" The traveller shook his head. I've got no clue, mate. And then he rode away. Alright, we'll go with that. Upon Vincent's bedsheets rests a gentle rose. There is no note or other indication of where it came from. The caretaker did not seem sentimental nor close enough to Mr. Tresillian to leave it. Sydney, Francis and James, his only close relatives, are in London awaiting your return. For the past few years, he had not even left his chamber. Okay, he knew a few people. He knew a few people outside the context of work or family. Vincent never had a wife nor children of his own, though he bore great affection towards his sisters, especially after she passed. Even at a young age, he refused to play the suitor. Vincent was a strapping young man. He never married, nor, as far as his peers knew, ever pursued a relationship. Some muttered that he saw himself above such things. Vincent would have said he had little interest in sexuality, but was not above a bit of romance. Okay. Oh, people outside. People outside the door. Who are you? Can I... 12 pages... Oh. 12 pages written. Now we're outside looking in. Okay. This... I always freak out a little bit when this shit goes on. So what is this over here? And there's something over there. So what's this? It says, "I've got." Am I supposed to go up to it? Let's see. "Welcome to I've Got Station." Might have been something I typed earlier and kind of got it a little bit wrong. Okay, so behind the mirror, there's this haze. Are they bees or something? Let's find out. Go straight in. "Where do you want it?" "Just over there," my caretaker replied. The two men carried the desk next to the window and set it down. Bidding me not a word, the caretaker removed them and himself from my chamber. I locked myself within the room. Gathering together some blank paper, I sat down at the desk and began my work. I laid a page out in front of me and wrote the history of my... I winced as from the window a ray of light blinded me. Placing down my pen, I stood from the chair. With great strain, I dragged my dresser from the wall and moved the desk where it once was, out of sight of the window. My dresser I placed where my desk had once been. I sat down once more to write. Esteemed F. A nauseous pain trickled down my spine and slowly consumed me. How foolish I had been. Now my back had failed, and no work would get done today. I don't have long. There is no time for this daddying. Hunched and defeated, I retired again to bed. I nibbled crumbs of a half-eaten cucumber sandwich to try and get this wretched sickness to pass. It was dry and without taste. I stared for a while at the door. The caretaker would not return until it was time to bring me dinner. Perhaps if I recovered enough, I could write him a note, see if he could procure some morphine to aid me through my pain. There was nothing left to do but close my eyes and hope that through stillness alone I might conquer this foe. The rest of my day was a painful blur. I wrote the note and managed to eat my evening meal, and almost accomplished sleep. A figure observed me as I tried to deceive myself to rest. "It is not yet time," I said. It merely watched, its convulsing form betraying it no response. In the morning, the caretaker finally brought my morphine. "Family," I wrote at last. I gave the Y a strong flourish to complete my triumph. The history of my esteemed family. Esteemed. I was yet to write the first sentence, and I had already lied. Okay. Okay, it's weird. The people outside were creepy. That person's still outside there, do not like. So, there's a lot of stuff on this mantelpiece, but I don't know, this mask kind of caught my eye. And what's that? Is that... I'm not sure what that is. Let's try the mask. I sat on the floor, my back to our wall, gripping a piece of crumpled paper. Vincent, what's wrong? Alphonse asked. I'm going, I replied. I can come with you, whatever this is. No, we won't see each other again. I looked at Alphonse, but could barely see him through the tears. He was just a shifting smudge in the form of a man. Alphonse looked around. Where are your works? He said. I burnt them. I stuffed the paper into my coat pocket and left. Oh wow. Rewrite the past. Let's do that. What's wrong? So, Alphonse, didn't he write music together? But Vincent, he was forced to join the army. Okay. I have to go... I have to go to war now. Be right back. Don't look for me. Okay. For a while, when Vincent was young, Venetian masked balls were all the rage in London. This mask allowed him to be braver than he was, to do things he would otherwise be afraid to do. He could be disassociated from his own actions, safeguarded from himself. It feels so very light in your hands as you pick it up. You bring it to your face, and through its empty eyes everything looks different. The dark not frightening, but a place to hide. The night a time of wonder. Okay. Do not feel, just do. Do not waste your time caring for others. Care only for yourself, and others will do likewise. Anger flows through you. Yes, it all makes sense now. How long have you held yourself back by caring what others thought, what others felt, what pain they suffered? There's no morality, only you. Take your humanity, kill it, then there will only be this, the pure expression of fear, nothing else. Okay, the mask falls, you dropped it. The mask falls from your face, as your fingers go numb. A tear runs down your cheek. Your other hand picks up the mask and puts it carefully back in its place. You rub your numb hand, trying in vain to get the blood flowing. It can move, but it can no longer feel. It's a dead thing, animated, capable of acting, but with no purpose or hope in doing so. God, you need a holiday. Okay, give it to the younger nephew, who in defence of ambition refuses to absolve himself. It was given to the niece, who understands that caring is a luxury like sugar, indulged in frequently. Give it to the elder nephew, though he has gone beyond the need for a mask. I don't know. Give it to the niece. Okay. So, what should we do next? There's lots of things on this mantelpiece. So let's check out... The fireplace is new, actually. Oh, it's a new thing. I'm tempted. No. There's like loads of stuff. I need to thin out this mantelpiece a bit. What about the photo? My father examined the trophy. His face betrayed no expression. He read the inscription, then placed it back on the mantelpiece and returned to his rocking chair. There's a turn-up, he said. Never would have taken you for a sportsman. It was summer holidays, and I was home from boarding school. Father would have disapproved of how I really won that trophy. It certainly wasn't by being good at football, rugby, and hunting. I cheated all the time. There we go. The photograph is of a man in his early 30s. It's worn and faded, as if taken long ago. There is no family resemblance to Vincent as far as you can tell. You pick up the picture. It's remarkably clean of dust and ash compared to the other things near the fireplace. Carefully sliding the photograph out of the frame, you examine the back. To remember me by, we will see each other in another life. Alphonse. This item is not mentioned in the will. Okay, perhaps you should just leave it here. Okay, we've just ditched it. Okay, so how many notes have we written so far? 14. Things seem to happen in sets of 3. You do 3 things and stuff happens. So we're going to read one more thing, and then I guess we'll do something. Something's going to happen. I think the fireplace is new, so let's check that out. Vincent, I am aware that you asked me not to look into this further. However, the well-being of your business is not only your burden, it concerns the whole family. The accounts you have been furnished with do not tally with the production figures and the price of ivory. Either your people are selling your goods at a fraction of their worth, in which case they are incompetent, or they are defrauding you. Either way, it's imperative that action is taken. If you do not feel well enough to resolve this matter, then I ask you to vest me the authority to do so myself. Your affectionate niece, Frances. Okay. Oh, live with the past, deal with it. A neat pile of logs and kindling lined the fireplace. Perhaps the caretaker was not so inhospitable after all. We're going to light the fire? Okay, light the fire. You take the lighter from your pocket, kneel down, and set the wood ablaze. The walls judder in pain, cold and darkness abate for a moment, allowing brief comfort. Standing back up, you turn around to see the fire has done little to illuminate the room. This darkness is not the mere absence of light. It's something thicker, swirling and alive, and you just hurt it. Whoops. Okay, so sorry, but I thought we'd just warm the place up a little bit. Okay. So I thought something might happen. Maybe not. Maybe we're good. Let's read something else. What's that? A belt? Is that like a romancy thing? Let's try that then. Oh, I can write whatever I want. What shall I write? Hello. I hope you are well today and not too creeped out by this game. What else shall I write? The story is creepy. Creepy is my favourite word. Do not judge me. How much more do I need to type? Alright, that's it. Bye. Okay. An aging piece of paper containing a simple composition. You're no expert, but the melody seems well constructed. It bears the signature of Vincent Tresillian. This must have been from his younger days, when he tried to challenge his cause. His compositions were supposed to have been burnt with his independence. It seems that these scraps survived. Not being mentioned in the will, you have the piece published posthumously. Wow. Give it to the niece as keeper of the uncle's secrets. Give it to the elder nephew, who could have tried harder. Give it to the younger nephew as hope and warning. I don't know, younger nephew. Okay. Okay. So let's try the sword. I've been looking at it for a while. That's it, grab that. A weapon that has been in the family since Vincent's great-grandfather. It has served martial houses since the little soldier's boot dropped. It has witnessed such blood cut from enemies of current and fallen empires to carve a legacy. The hilt changes with the fashion of the times, but the blade remains the same. As you approach it, you hear it singing light, harmonious chords like a church choir. The words are indecipherable, yet the meaning clear. The sword is happy, gratified, for the time being. Okay, younger nephew, who served in the cavalry, who tries to run away from his purpose, but will fall like all the others. Okay, the elder nephew, to remind him that serving behind a desk does little to satisfy the blood debt. And the niece, as the only one who could bend it to her will, and force restitution upon the family's rivals. Well, if she's the only one who could bend it to her will, I guess she should have it. There you go. Oh, there's people at the door. Oh, we're up to... How many people are there now? 4. Okay, so that seems like a lady, a gentleman, and there's someone here as well. So, I'm sure each of these people are supposed to represent someone. Are they... Is that the niece and the 2 nephews? So who's that? Okay, can we go outside the door? 15 pages written. Okay, we're stuck inside the room. And the only thing... Okay, we have the window. Or the box. So what is... Someone still outside? The person outside has gone. Okay, let's try the window. You run to the window, flinging it open. Bang, they can lock the door, but they can't stop you from leaving. As the figures converge and the music gets louder, you place your left leg out of the window, you lower your head, and move to pass through. Something grabs your shoulder. No, you exclaim as you are dragged back into the room. You fall to the floor. Above, you see the elderly caretaker. The door's ajar. He shakes his head. I said you should have waited till morning, he says as he walks to turn off the phonograph. You stare at the man. Alone in the dark, you see. The caretaker says, the mind plays tricks on you. Makes you see things that aren't really there. This place creeps even me out. You nod. How absurd you have been. You must have really fallen asleep. Confused dream for reality. How absurd. It must have been a dream. After returning to London and submitting your inventory, a senior partner insists you take a very long holiday. You've been working too hard, given too much responsibility. Upon coming back from holiday, you receive a sudden promotion. You have an office, power, and most seem to think you are on the path to partner in the firm. An odd feeling stalks you that the price for this good fortune has yet to be paid. The niece would take over responsibility for the Imperial Ivory Corporation. It was obvious from Vincent's will that Francis Trezilian's Leyland, his niece, was his favoured relative. In due time she found herself leading the company. The niece set about restoring the firm and family to their previous status. Old debts were repaid. Those who dealt with her uncle were assured by the continuity of her rule. In time, the once waning family again had respect. After nearly 20 years of running the company, the niece had grown up children of her own, including 2 sons raised in the family tradition. But not all debts had been paid. Okay. Achievement unlocked. A strange and terrible career. End of Act 1. Okay, so there will be a short intermission. This is a weird game, okay, but I don't know if there's going to be an Act 2 or not, but we'll see. But this is Ysty signing off, and hopefully I will see you next time.